right. Here we are again. Out of Pleb Lab, live on a Tuesday night. I like to code at night sometimes. Go home and eat dinner after the day's work. Kind of clear my head. Come back to it with some focus. So I figured that was a good time to do these streams. But yeah, I'm going to be working on Ellen Inbound again today. Should be a little more exciting this week because I'm getting to the channel opens, which had worked in the past, and we broke the app, updating it basically, and I think I'm about a step away from getting those working. So yeah, just simple inbound channel service app here. After that, I'll get to displaying the channels potentially, and just some improvements to the UI here. There's some stuff. This is actually pulled offline right now. If you go to elleninbound.com, this is what you'll see. Because we built this a little over a month ago, and it was right before the mempool started spiking. I don't know, has it been 2 months now? Maybe. But right before the mempool started spiking from all the inscriptions, all that fun stuff. What's up? What's up, dude? Thanks for coming to the stream. But yeah, we kind of built this at a hackathon right before the mempool blew up, and it was ready for production essentially. And now it looks like this, because there was a lot of stuff we hadn't done yet, proper fee estimation and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm not gonna start selling people channels in this environment. So kind of pulled it offline for a little while. But it gives us time to improve it, kind of rebuild it from the ground up and get it right. And I think it'll work after that pretty well, and actually be something that we can Dockerize and make it to where kind of anyone could run it on their Umbrel or whatever and sell a channel peer-to-peer kind of at their own rate. I guess that was kind of the idea of it. It's really, really easy to spin up on top of your Lightning node to kind of sell channels. But yes, so let's get this thing running. Got classic dev environment here, Polar, running in Docker, as it has to. Kind of a simple network setup here. Carol is going to be my subject, who's going to be trying to buy a channel, and I guess Alice is the one hosting Ellen Inbound, so she'll be the one selling the channel. And yeah, now I'm up to the point to where the channel opening, the channel open is trying to happen, but it's not. So I'm just going to dive right into the channel open endpoint here. I was kind of barely touched it earlier today. Threw a bunch of commented code from another endpoint in here, but right now basically I'm kind of just checking the user session, which has their pub key, checking the amount field. Pub key was just find, and I'm calling open channel, kind of just raw, but there's a few things I want to do here along the path. I need to check if the amount is here as well. Status. So a little bit redundant, but that's okay. Can keep it simple for now. Can always compress code later. So, pub key and amount. I know open channel here, it takes options. Does it take any option? Any. Literally, any. And I guess this means that it can, in theory, take any L&D option. but I don't know if we want to like offer like anyone to be able to like open a channel and set whatever option they want quite yet. So I'll keep it simple for right now. Just do pub key and amount. Console log the channel, return the channel. Yeah, I think kind of looks good actually. We don't need any of this stuff yet. I don't know if we're gonna need to check any of our other channels yet. That's why I kind of have a lot of this stuff in, because that's been done in another endpoint. This channel status endpoint here kind of took care of that. So I think I can try this from the client side. So opening channel, this is the call to open the channel, posting the amount. Console logging the data, if data.ok and data.data.txid. Okay, so actually this needs to change here because I'm no longer, like originally we had a single TXID because we would sell a single channel, but now this whole paradigm is going to change. It's going to be an array of channels. So really I need to go change my state first so that I can have an array of channels and channel opened. Yeah, do I need, well, I at least need some channels state, so I'm going to set that aside. Reducer. So yeah, TXID is already, oh, I do have channels here. I must have added this before. Set channels. Okay. So that's actually ready to update. So set channels. I'm importing it too. Set channels to the data.data. Change this naming here. I hate doing data.data. Res.ok and then res.data.channel, I think is what I should be sending back, and then that's what I should be passing it here. Cool. Check the endpoint one more time. I actually am just sending this as the data itself. So I'm gonna put this in a body. Okay, true data channel, that's correct. Copilot helping me out with a lot of the backend boilerplate, especially just the backend API code. I hate writing it, it's like the same thing over and over again. That's what I love Copilot for. Even though I know Bitcoiners aren't supposed to use Copilot or AI tools, but I don't care. Data channel, so we'll just be, we'll be channel. Res.ok. All right, this should work. Let's do a full run through here and see if it works. I still don't know what this 0 is here. I think something is like broken. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay, so the workflow goes, I don't know. I guess like centralization, decentralization kind of arguments as far as why Bitcoiners aren't supposed to use AI tools. Me and all my friends do. So I'm about it, and I think that like especially if you're a new programmer, it's good to not lean on, but leverage those tools. But yeah, you are like feeding the behemoth, like Copilot, like Microsoft is reading everyone's code on GitHub and essentially profiting from it, like pulling that data into their model to train Copilot. OpenAI did this as well with ChatGPT and GPT-3, like training on everyone's code and then making this data set and selling it. To NeoVim yesterday. Now you tell me not to use it. No, you should definitely use it. I love that spelling of GPT. by the way. It's amazing. I don't know if that was on purpose. No, that's sick. Like I'm really bullish on AI. Like in general, I just think we need to be in the world where we're self-hosting it. GAP pity. Is that an actual project? Is that a different project? I love hearing people like talking heads in the news. They say GDP or something like that. They're trying to talk about ChatGPT. They don't even know how to say it. Am I gonna look up GPity now? Probably not. No. But yeah, my future world emperor, Sam Altman. Oh, Sam Altman, the creator of WorldCoin. Nice, good dude. Scan your eyeballs. But no, yeah, I mean, like, AI is a threat in a lot of ways. Like, it is a centralizing force, but we can self-host it. And that's the future I'm bullish on, is like where, you know, the open source tools are great right now, honestly. But once the hardware is at the level and like the knowledge because I don't know how to run my own self-sovereign like AI, you know, server database stack. Like, I'm not ready to do that, but I want to do it in the future. Yeah, I know there's tons of open source AI projects, like, but traditionally they've been less good. They've been behind. They're expensive to run. It's always easier to just go with like the custodial AI essentially, but you know, I don't know. I'm out of my realm. Orca. Okay. Orca AI. Its vision. Oh, this seems creepy. A boat collision avoidance system maker. That's is that not it? Just powers. Oh, this is Crunchbase. Can I see the? Oh wait, they're talking about open sourcing it. Look up Orca AI model. Yeah, I always just want to see the GitHub. Oh, okay. Imitate the reasoning processes of large foundation models. This is interesting. Yeah, so they're just having like this model talk to other models and learn from them instead of doing like the hard, like bottom-up labor that they normally do with LLMs. That's kind of interesting. I think Odell was talking about this recently on RHR, like being able to train AI models on like other AI models like ad infinitum, but I don't know. Like ChatGPT, like all these other models might just block them, but Microsoft, they have a ton of data already, so who knows? Yeah, it's gonna be topped out. It's like Bitcoin. It's like the same thing. Like honestly, most people they won't hold their keys. Like most people, they're gonna use the custodial AI or the custodial whatever. But like if the option is out there for running your own stack and it's convenient enough, like that's the future you at least want to build. AI is not my thing though. I mean, I've played around with it in the past, a decent amount, but I don't like building it from the ground up. I like making data sets. That's kind of cool, but yeah, beyond that, it's just a tool. And hopefully one I can host myself someday. Okay, let's do the full run through now. We're gonna see if Carol is gonna be able to buy a channel from Alice here. So I'm gonna grab Carol's pub key. And so kind of how the flow works is like, add our node as a peer, right? Step one, you need to be connected to us. First and foremost, yeah, a lot of people are being forced into using it, right? I mean, but it's a tool. And as a developer especially, you kind of feels like you have to keep up with it. It feels like it's very much an arms race. Yeah, I'll probably be using it later. I've got GPT pulled up right here. Okay, so we're checking our connection status. We are connected, and here this UI is kind of like super wide, kind of ugly right now, but you can choose the channel size here and then the fee selection. So 15,238. So let's go here. We'll just have Bob pay this invoice. And so now when Bob pays this invoice, we should initiate the channel open, I think. Let me make sure my console's open here actually. Okay. It's good for generating boilerplate, for scanning docs. The code it outputs is dog shit 90% of the time. Yeah, unless it's simple stuff like bash scripts. Yeah, I think for like, I've said this before, like for front end stuff, it's really bad, or for really subjective, ambiguous stuff, it's bad, but for something straightforward like an API endpoint, like make me a script that does this, a lot of those things it's good at, but I do agree it's better for boilerplate. What I really want is a better like big tool, open source tool, I guess, that reads all of the developer docs. I want something that just like helps me like search an LLM, through an LLM essentially, like search developer docs and like ask questions about them. Because I still spend, like this is one area that ChatGPT can't help with a lot of times, is like, oh, how I can't do this with this library, or this method on this library isn't working. And I spend so much time digging through the docs for really simple shit. So I think that would be a cool, I'm sure there is some project out there that does that, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'd be on the lookout. Okay, so let's pay this invoice and we should get this channel to open. Jump back over here, opening channel. Okay, looks like something happened. We had our spinner there for a second. Oh no, receive funding error. Oh, that's weird. It looks like it came through though, and then here's our channel status. Console log. And it looks like, yeah, we have a pending channel here. That's cool. I can't believe that worked the first time. Yep, there it is. Sweet. Okay, channels are working again. Finally. A lot to clean up still. GPT plugin I hooked up yesterday can auto-generate docs for me. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've done stuff like that before. Like I fed it like code in like other like meta information, like very much kind of like crafted a prompt. But I guess you're talking about a plugin. That's different. I don't use plugins that much. Yeah. Yeah, it's still, I think it's still the best out there for most stuff. Right. Looks like we might have like called this endpoint twice. This might be a classic React moment. What's your IDE? No AI plugin available. VS Code. Yeah, I've got Copilot here. Yep, it is VS Code. I know the haters are out there, but I like it. Mainly for the extensions, honestly. So, let's see, do I want to fix the UI first? We should be going to a page here now that's like a channel status page. But the logic for the rendering is broken. A lot of this is going to change anyway too. Channels. If channels.length. Oh, I see. And channels is actually like an array. What is it? No, channels is just an array, I believe. I'll just console log it. It's a massive bloatware and Microsoft spyware. Damn. I don't doubt it. It's what I learned on though. And I had used a few others before. What is the Python one? PyCharm. I think PyCharm? I had used that before. Like all the IDEs I'd used in the past confused me. Yeah. PyCharm. Yo, thanks for coming by, dude. Linus. Yeah, get some sleep. PyCharm. Yeah, but PyCharm confused me a lot. A lot of the other, I think I used Visual Studio Code as well. Or there's like VS Code and Visual Studio Code. NeoVim Hype Train. What is NeoVim? I've tried Vim. I heard that good developers used Vim. I heard that in the past and I tried it for like a week and I didn't like it. Oh, got Bitcoin donations. Do they generate a new address each time? No, they don't. They have a static address. That's a shame. Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested. I don't fuck with my dev environment much, though. Maybe that's a problem. Let's see how many stars they have. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. A lot of guys around here in Austin, they use Vim. I still can't even type, so I'm like priorities here. I'm just trying to build. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Channels. Oh, channels is a channels is supposed to be an array, I thought. Must be how I'm setting it. Oh, I need to not like completely overwrite it. Set channels. Yeah. Yeah, it's always like what will get you moving in the first place. That's what I've always tried to stick with. But you know, it's also good to improve over time. It's good to reduce intermediaries when you can. It takes a lot of energy though to do it across your life. Yeah, I'm building. This had worked in the past as a project me and someone here at Pleb Lab built during a hackathon. It's a kind of a simple inbound channel service. I'm kind of rebuilding it, kind of making it a bit tighter now, but Ideally, it'll be something that anyone can run on like an Umbrel or whatever. Just run it on top of your Lightning node and have an easy like point where you can sell a channel peer-to-peer and set the rates yourself. So there's kind of a simple like pricing system in the back end that you set with environment variables for setting a fee for like how much liquidity you want to sell, how much you're going to charge for it. This is in the spirit of zero fee routing. It sucks now that he's gone. I like the peer-to-peer kind of services. I mean, I know he was like, you know, somewhat of a centralizing force, but it was cool that it was peer-to-peer versus a marketplace, like a middleman that is kind of always in the middle of those channel opens, the channel marketplaces. Like I didn't want to build a channel marketplace. Like I wanted to build something that's easy to host on your own node and like sell your own channels. Right now though, it's a website basically, and we're gonna host ourselves first and like on my own node and see how it goes for a few months, and then probably build it, like Dockerize it. Yeah, that's how I felt, and like a lot of people felt about zero fee routing. And I mean, it wasn't obvious that he was going to disappear, but it's kind of like, it sucks, but it's a good thing, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Like you want a world of like zero fee routing, like where, you know, like you can search for nodes on like 1ML, but I should be able to like go on 1ML and actually be able to request directly from peer to like have them open a channel to me if they have it enabled. You know, and that stuff can be coordinated with software. I mean, like really easy. But yeah, I say better to have peering than like a marketplace. Plus, I don't want to build a marketplace. So what am I doing here? Oh yeah, setting channels. So I need to be adding this to the array of channels instead of completely replacing it. So that's a dumb mistake. So state.channels equals action.payload. Actually want state.channels.append action.payload. And that's when we run our setter. And then we'll have an array, and that array will have a length, which means the appending channel should open it. Okay, let's run it back. Need to get this channel confirmed first. Well, I guess I can see. Oh man, this channel's not confirming. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna start this fresh and see like what the current view looks like if I already have a channel. Need Carol. So now when I put in my pub key this time, I should see the channel. Type error state.channels. Append is not a function. Initial state, state. Oops. I'm looking for dot push. Is dot append? I think I just wrote Python. I think that was Python. Okay. Here we go. Well, shows this view. We don't have the TX ID though right now because we don't know how to look for it, but okay, let's roll it back though. Close this channel. Am I gonna have to clear my state or my cache? Yeah, I am. don't Dockerize it, Nixify it. Yeah, I've got Cody from Fetty and Lisa always yelling in my ear about Nix. I need to get around to it. I really want to. I mean, I've played around with it a little bit, like in Replit, because that's what Replit uses, but you know, I've heard about the magic. I might do a workshop on it at some point, just like, that's how I usually do things, like I just try and figure out a simple example myself and then share it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds awesome. Like Docker's nice, but the containerization, it's a pain in the ass. Like for networking, man, you can get stuck for so long. Okay. Why is my state not clear here? Maybe I need a minor block. So there should be a clear session, rect.session.destroy. I should be able to call, I don't know, I'm console logging the session here. Hash receipt. Session is. That's weird. It says I only have a pub key in the session. I've had this happen before with Polar. I swear it's like something is getting cached. It's bloated AF. Docker. Yeah, I know it. I freaking see it on my activity monitor. It takes up so much computing power. One time I found, like a few months ago, I found some version of Linux was running in a container for like months on my computer, and I had no idea. Like running in the background for some side project I had done, and it was taking so much compute, and or so much memory. I hadn't noticed it. Okay. Let's back up. God damn. How do I clear this state? It's like there's two sessions duplicating. Let me go over to my other network here. Yeah, this one should work. Start this one up. Polar is cool, but we need another Polar to exist out there. Like, the whole Lightning dev environment's world still needs to be pushed forward. Okay, so we're gonna be Alice now. This should be the same host. This is Polar. It's a Lightning reg test environment that runs on top of Docker. Gives you this cool UI. I think it is like the best Lightning development tool, like bar none. I just use it so much that I like complain about it, but it's actually amazing. So you can customize like all these networks, like you can see here, like just have a basic Bitcoin Core backend, and then 3 different, and these are L&D nodes, but you can get Core Lightning nodes, Eclair nodes in here as well. And these are like my channels that I can open, I can initiate pretty easy actions. So yeah, like now I just spun this up in like, you know, a second. This is a new network, and I'm going to connect to this Alice now. I'm just going to update my environment variables. Oh yeah, that's the same. Get her hex macaroon. Yeah, Polar is the shit. It was built a while ago too. It was built in like 2019. Okay. What? This is impossible. This is definitely a different Alice here. Destination. What if I just connect to Bob here? Wait, no, rest host. Need to start fucking around with that. I want to get into Lightning Dev stuff. Is it locally hosted or a remote machine you SSH to or something? It's locally hosted. It's really easy. Yeah, it's a game changer if you're trying to get into Lightning Dev. You essentially just have to open Docker, like Docker Desktop, and then you install Polar. So you can get lightningpolar.com, and it's open source as well. Yeah, so you can get it here and you just run it as like an executable app. All you need to do is have Docker Desktop open, and then it lets you spin up, kind of arbitrarily spin up networks. And I'm just gonna spin up a new network because something is caching here and it's breaking everything. So I can make this bigger. I can do like 3 L&D nodes, and we'll do 1 Eclair, 1 Core Lightning. And then now it will spin this all up, and it gives me a UI. There's only really basic features though, as far as like opening, closing channels, creating invoices. But it does give you like easy access into like root access into each one of the nodes. So you can run any like command that you want to, kind of like SSH into them essentially. And yeah, it's all running here on Docker. So pretty easy. Looks like most of these are started up. So I'm gonna connect to this Alice this time. But first I'm gonna give her some funds. Yeah, and since it's reg test here, we start at like, you know, the Genesis block essentially. And so now that I'm depositing 1 million sats, it's gonna have to jump 106 blocks. Yep, here we go. Cool. And so someone is going to need to be able to pay. So I'm gonna have Bob give him some funds. Channel Alice. And then we'll be playing, or Alice will be our node and Dave can be the person requesting the channel. Oh, Eclair broke. That's okay. I'm done fucking with Carol. Yeah, exactly. It's just a Docker, what do you call it? Docker Compose image. Yeah, nobody uses Eclair. I mean, everyone that has Phoenix Wallet does. Maybe they don't know it. Not connected. Interesting. So the logic for this is just busted. So I'm going to comment this out for right now. Pending channel. This is if channels.length. What if I do channels.length greater than 0? This is probably a dumb mistake. Nobody uses Phoenix except for me and 3 other people in Convinced who used it. Normie's stuck on Wall of Satoshi. Yep. I mean, yeah, Wall of Satoshi, like, they have the good UX. They literally brag about Wallet of Satoshi. They brag here. They know exactly how many payments you're making, exactly the contents of your payments here. That's my favorite stat. But yeah, I mean, custodial Lightning, it's better than no Lightning. But I do agree. I like Phoenix a lot more. Yeah, I used to really like Moon. Not as much anymore. Basically, once I learned about how it actually works. So it's saying we're not peered with Dave, which is strange because I know we are, because Polar networks have you auto peer with everyone. Okay, we are connected. So pending channel if not invoice polling and channels.length is greater than 0. Well, I'm console logging channels. What? What? Oh my god. This is maybe the worst atrocity of JavaScript I've ever seen. I'm filling up an array full of undefines. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Ugh. Okay, I must be, I mean, this keeps running, so I must be calling this index.js. Let's see where I am setting the channels. Show channels. So we got connect here. Huh. This looks a little weird. this out. That looks a little sketchy. This is what I added. Channel status. I see. So this is like polling for the channel status all the time. What is this in? Opening channel. Just comment that out for right now. Gross. Wall of Satoshi is an Australian government undercover operation to secretly steal bitcoins. I don't believe you because you said bitcoins. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. It was actually funny recently. I was working with my company, actually, my day job. I work at a Fold. And we were kind of looking into Lightning futures, I guess, very generally, and being careful about regulations, like thinking a lot about regulations, like what can we do with Lightning? And I started looking at Wall of Satoshi, and like after learning about like all these regulations and like what they're getting away with right now is kind of crazy. So I think there is something to what you're saying. Like I can't believe they're operating at the scale that they are, and I don't know, haven't gotten much pushback for doing all of this like un-KYC money transmission, essentially. Wait until Australian government needs Bitcoin for international affairs. Then they're gonna rug Wall of Satoshi. Yeah, that could happen. I've never really thought about, I mean, it would be smart for like an adversarial government to send agents to like start some kind of project in the space, you know, and become trusted in the space and like get their hands kind of into a bunch of Bitcoiners' business through an app. That'd be good, but I don't know. At the same time, Wall of Satoshi, they're like great for Lightning. At the same time, like, I don't know, they're one of the bigger centralizing forces, but it's not that I don't think that. It's that I'm not convinced that they're out here building projects and like maintaining projects like that. But maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's try and run this again. Yeah, I've got my spook stories in Bitcoin already. I think everyone does. Everyone that's been around. Sailor can hodl as much as he wants. It doesn't change anything. Okay, here we go. Connected, but it's not presenting. Wait, channel status. He's stacking for the US government, Sailor. I don't know, everyone has their Sailor theories. I don't stand for I don't like stan the guy, I guess, but I don't know. I don't really know what to think. How much did I have to learn before getting my first Bitcoin coding job? It's a good question. it was quite a bit. You know, I guess it depends on what you're trying to go for. Like for me, I started with web because that seemed like the easiest and the best path for me because I'm pretty visual. But I essentially had to learn basics of front end and basics of back end. And I actually got my first job at kind of a fiat tech company before I got a job in Bitcoin. And I was pretty intense about it too. I was like really focused on getting a job in Bitcoin for about 3.5 years, like focused on coding. But I'm a slow learner, so like other people have done it way faster. But that's also like a lot of what I'm trying to do with Pleb Devs is like share some of my insights, because I think I really empathize a lot with people that are newer trying to learn how to code. Yeah, like right now though, it's really hard. Like if you go to Bitcoiner jobs, this is where I found my job, and I would look at this every single day. Now it looks like there's a few more engineering positions. How do I go to engineering? So a lot of the stuff when you're new, like it's just you're not going to be able to do it. I mean, we got lead mobile engineer. That's not entry level. A few here like front end engineer. You know, and people will say, it doesn't say it here, but they'll say, you know, they want you to be experienced. They want you to have 3 years of experience. Web seems like the correct path. I really don't give a fuck about it. The bar seems hard. I'm very stupid. Yeah, I mean, backend can be easier than front end, and if you're inclined to do backend and DevOps, like you should definitely go down that path. Like I wasn't that guy. I like backend now. I'm like excited to learn about it, but at first, like it definitely wasn't. I needed to like see UI and play around with UI at first. I mean, backend's amazing if you can just like dive in and, you know, learn a lower level language. You'll be taking a huge shortcut. If I was backend though, I would definitely start with Python, and learn how to talk to a Bitcoin node with Python, or a Lightning node. You know, build some projects, build some APIs, work with databases, and then if you could move on to something like Go or Rust, like this is a Go developer position, 3 months. For only 3 months though, so I don't know. But yeah, a lot of the backend, senior backend, like yeah, all of the backend stuff, like they'll mention Go, Rust, C++. Those are usually the big 3. And a lot of DevOps shit. This is rare. They're mentioning TypeScript, Node.js. This for senior full stack engineer. Okay. Yeah, it's good to be able to do both. Like, if you can learn React on the front end and get pretty familiar with modern React, even if you suck at like styling, it's a really useful tool. Like everyone uses React or something like React. Flutter developers, that's mobile. Java, I forgot about Java. I guess some people do use Java in the back end. I don't like Java though. I don't like Java. Node.js, engineer, front-end developer. Honestly, a lot of front-end positions right now. That's been rare. Like I would only ever see senior front-end engineer positions before. React, Go, yeah. Yeah, honestly, like this right here is just a great, like if you learn this stack, you'll be able to apply to a lot of different Bitcoin companies. But I like Rust. Tried learning React, but man, it's really weird to me. I tried Vue and I really liked it. Vue is cool. If you like Vue, the modern version of Vue is called Svelte. Svelte kit. It's like a similar style. Show me some code. Yeah, I mean, it's all JavaScript all the way down, but I liked React. I mean, if there's a few slightly kind of funny concepts to learn with React, but I think you can get there pretty quickly. Like if you get the basics of JavaScript, you can get there pretty quickly with React. I did a workshop. If you search plebdevs workshop React, is this one, plebdev workshop with Austin. It's on the Pleb Lab YouTube. Yeah, this is a workshop I did that was like a streamline of kind of HTML, CSS, and React. So that's a good like streamline, just like get a second opinion on React. I also had like we did Emerlize. Yeah, hooks. Yeah, in hooks, that's what's really weird. Like use state and use effect. If you go to Emerlize, this is kind of like a Lightning native Udemy sort of. And can I see the courses? And so yeah, this is a plebdev course. This is the course that I made with Super Testnet, and so I think this is the cheapest it is, 45,000 sats. I mean, honestly, like if you DM me, I'll give it to you for free. It's also on Udemy, but this was like another like 0 to kind of basic front-end developer course, and we go pretty deep into React. You took the course. Oh, okay. Amazing. Yeah, it's a really fast. Did you get to the React lesson? Did you get through the React project? I'm wondering. A lot of people get stuck on JavaScript. You did the whole thing. Well, I mean, in the Pleb wallet we build, like that's kind of everything you need to know. So definitely go back to it with some ChatGPT. That's what I would say. Because it's really like use state and use effect is everything. Thinking like a dev mainly. Yeah, that is a good way of thinking, or of kind of putting it. I remember thinking like this a lot. What part of it is hard? Is it like thinking of projects, or like how to build a project from scratch? That kind of stuff. That's what was really hard for me when I was starting out. But that's why I like to get down examples. Things like making a form and posting form data to an API. You know, that's something that you can do once and you can kind of copy your old code forever. So that's been how I've done it. Is made projects, taken tutorials, and heavily commented it, and like kind of kept it as an example and copied it in the future. But yeah, when you get into Bitcoin and Lightning world, it's, you know, in a sense there's a million things to do, but there are new difficulties that, you know, aren't present when you're building a to-do list or something like that, I guess. But I do stuff like Code Wars, you get concepts and can solve problems, but yeah. Okay. See, this is like classic, I feel like when I'm talking to new developers, I feel like they always fit into one or two camps, which I just call back end or front end. And you just seem like a back end oriented type of person. Because the problem with like a lot of the more like creative and open, messy people, they like to do front end, and they like to like over plan projects, like overshoot what they think they can do. And then the more back end, like logic oriented people, they like get better at the fundamentals but struggle with like big scope projects, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like I've definitely seen those two archetypes And it's hard because I didn't start as a back-end person myself. You just don't give a fuck about UI UX. I mean, that too, right? that's another great, if shit works, I don't give a fuck what it looks like. Yeah. Well, then yeah, backend is definitely the way. Like, screw React. In that case, I mean, really the most important Bitcoin's, well, you can't really say that, but like actually touching Bitcoin, touching Lightning in the most meaningful ways, that does happen in the back end. The front end is only important because the user is important, right? If we don't care about the user, then like the back end really is where everything is happening. I'm in the process right now. It is all in JavaScript, but I am in the process of building and finishing the backend course, the PlebDevs backend course. It's going to be like part 2 to the first course, essentially. Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're both two sides of the same coin. But yeah, I'm hoping to give people an easy head start with the backend course as well. Like for me, backend was not at all natural, and I really tried with this course. I've been spending a lot of time, a lot of effort on it. I'm really trying to boil it down to just be like the most simple possible concepts that you can build on top of yourself. What tech stack am I planning on showing? So it's going to be just Node.js. So JavaScript, not in the browser. Node.js is just JavaScript that's running natively on your machine. And it really is kind of the most popular framework for building servers, or one of the most popular. So Node.js, we use a library called Express for API stuff. So we build an API, we build an authenticated API. We learn about like making JSON web tokens, hashing user passwords, all that stuff. And then we're going to learn how to set up a database with SQLite and Postgres, and a library called Kinex. What else? And then we are going to be deploying it as well. And we're going to be working with Polar and with Voltage for production. So we're essentially going to build a backend and a full API, a full server and database, all of it from scratch. And it's going to be communicating with a Lightning node. And we're going to deploy all this to production. Right, so it's like the full life cycle from zero to like it's deployed and it's live. And we're going to deploy it on Voltage for the node, and then Heroku for the database, the backend. Yeah, definitely. I'm super excited about this one. It's been a long time coming, honestly. I've been working on it for like I think 6 months now, but I'm just finishing up like the last 2 lessons, and then we're gonna shoot it. Normally that doesn't take super long, and so yeah, I'm hoping maybe end of July we'll start to see something about it. But yeah, for sure, like yeah, and I mean, if you have anything else you want to learn, or you would want to learn, I guess, in a backend course, like definitely let me know, because I'm looking for as much input as possible. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get back into this. I just need to get this state essentially fixed, and I want to go through the full life cycle to opening a channel. I think that would be a good finishing goal here. So let's try and connect first. Okay, data connected, true. So now mount isn't rendering, so not channels. I think I need to do this check right here. Same for here. Same for here. God, in all of this is so gross right now. I'm gonna clean this up. This is all just like conditional rendering, essentially. I'm checking to see like what steps in the process have been completed before I show the next component, but that's gross. I want to break this up into different pages. Probably 2 pages, I think that would be the best. Okay, here we go. So connected, and it's showing stats for the channel. That's fine. This looks super ugly for right now, but that's okay. I'll just do a small channel. Confirm. Here we have the invoice. Actually, before... I think I want to split this up right now. Just realized too. Fixed channel opens. Oops. Okay. So when we're connected, I want this to go differently. Message, so we show the connection status. So if the message was success, message and message type equals success. Okay. If that's the case, just put a button for right now. No logic in here. And this will be open channel. That should just say open a channel. And when we submit this, I want to route to a new page, and this is going to be the channel details page, I guess. What would you call it? Amount. It's kind of like you're setting the amount mainly. We call it channel details. Believe it or not, I've been mainly learning and liking Haskell. Probably won't be able to get a job with it anytime soon. Been learning Python as well, but really enjoying Haskell. That's interesting. I've heard of Haskell. I don't know what it looks like though. Huh. Looks functional, not needing interpreters. Huh. This seems a little bit similar to how Rust works. Yeah, it is functional. Yeah, there is something about like functional languages and like it's very like I don't know. I guess it's kind of like math. Like it's just really clear when you read it versus like this garbage like ugh, JavaScript. Yeah, and Python has that same effect, I think, as well. I think Python is actually easier to learn than JavaScript. It's like the easiest first language to learn. But you can just do so much with JavaScript. That's the thing. Like once you learn JavaScript and you kind of get your bearings and you learn React as well, like you can just do so much, front end and back end. That's why I always about it. Okay, so from here I need to route. I don't remember what the router is. I think it's use router from next router. Okay. Const router equals use router. Router.push. Yeah, amount. That is a better page name. I'm gonna call this amount. Well, there is a component called amount though. Screw it. Okay, I think this should work. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, but I need to disable amount inside of here. Get rid of some of this gross shit. It's not unclear, it's just a different paradigm. Instead of telling me the PC what to do, telling it what things are. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like that is the benefit of lower level languages in general. I'm just starting a series, kind of a streaming series I'm going to be doing once a week. I'm going to do it either tomorrow night or Thursday night. It's called Learning Rust Live, and I'm going through the Rust book, like from zero. I just did the first one last week. But like that was as I was reading through some of the details and how it works, like that was kind of my immediate feeling. It was kind of like a powerful feeling that like, wow, I'm not just like giving instructions to the computer, like you're saying, or to some abstraction. Like you're like defining what data you're working with in memory directly. Like it's like full power, full control. That's exciting. It's a cool feeling, but I need to like build up to that. Like I didn't like that idea at first. Haskell is high level, super abstracted, but can do low level stuff. but it's imperative too. Yeah. Haskell sounds like kind of like Scala then. I know Ben Carmen, he's the Scala Max. Well, not anymore, but was the Scala Maxi. But it never made sense to me. Yeah, I went through half of the Rust book like over a year ago. And it was kind of the same thing. Like I kind of felt like I was following it at first and I got lost. So this time I'm back with the vengeance. At Lifetimes, yes. For me, like, it wasn't even anything specific. It was that all of the concepts, all of the terminology, like, I was just crushed under the weight of it. I couldn't remember anything. Like the structs versus the impulse versus the macros and associated like all of this very specific terminology, which some of it I had reference to in other things, but it's still just overwhelming. Okay, open a channel button and reroutes. Oh, previous definition of amount, of course. I can't call this amount, so I'm gonna call this rename. I'm gonna call this channel detail script. Channel details. Amount, can't resolve the alias. Add components. @/components. @/components. Okay, there we go. UI's blown up, but that's cool. I don't think there's any layout here. There's not. So I need to make like a header component now. So I can put this on both pages. .js. There's a new language coming out called Mojo that has Python syntax with Rust's borrow checker. Dang, that's kind of cool. That was one thing I do actually like about Rust, is the borrow checker, or the concept of like ownership. Mojo language. For all AI developers. See, because AI developers, they fucking love Python. They just stand over Python. Yeah, this looks cool. I mean, I like the, what do you call it? Like how Python does blocks with tabs. Yeah, exactly. A language for crypto. Mojo. That's what needs to happen next in the shitcoin evolution. Every shitcoin launch your own language, just like ETH. Yeah, no. Oh. I think my thing just died. Shit. probably means it's time to call it. My camera just fell off here. Oh. Oh. Well, pretty good stream though. Not leaving in the best place of the project, but I got channel opens working, so that was cool. Good talking to a few of the pleb devs. But yeah, I'll call it here. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, like I said, I'll be live with my Rust stream either tomorrow night or Thursday, one of those two. But I'll post it everywhere. But yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna go to freaking